American Idol contestant sues, saying she was made a laughing stock. All right, so let me give you a little context. An American Idol contestant, she's suing the producers of course, the hit reality TV show, alleging she's the victim of wage theft
Hmm.
and that the celebrity judges basically made fun of her. She was a laughing stock.
Proud Mary by Tina Turner.
I thought it was maybe like Mary Had a Little Lamb or.
I would love that too.
Normandy Vamos, she's 30. She appeared in the 20th season. This is the one with Katy Perry, Luke Bryan,
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie. Thank you. I'm having a hard time with the words and the names. But in any case, this was interesting because when I initially saw this and I actually watched the segment, there were a couple things that just popped out because she was kind of an oddity. And I think the reason she made the cut, right, to actually be on TV, regardless of whether she auditioned or not, was because of the oddity in her voicings. So she, in the audition, she spoke with a very, very high tone, very kind of baby voice. And then when she would sing, she had a register that was pretty warm and in the chest and low.
This job. I'm out of here.
What the heck?
And so that in itself kind of stood out. And it seemed that maybe she was putting on a voice when she spoke and things like that. Whatever she's doing is cool, right? But in any case, I think that's where kind of the humor in it came. And then you saw, Katy Perry at one point, she jumps up. She's like, I can't do this. I'm being set up. This is a
I'm
joke.
not falling for it. Yeah.
I'm not falling for it. And then she even asks the contestant to sing like an Adele song, right? Which is, again, a deeper register. She sings it. She actually has a great voice.
Great voice. Yeah.
So in any case, the basis of her, she was made a laughing stock is kind of just those different things that I pointed out. But as it relates to the wage theft, there's a couple pieces here. And what makes this interesting is that I was taking a look at the actual complaint. This is not just this one plaintiff. This is a class action. So what she's saying is that in order to audition, me and all these other contestants were being told, you wait in the hotel. And she goes, we're waiting in the hotel for 15 hours every day. And for me, I think it was like 8 days consecutively. And she goes, for all of that, I was doing it without income. Now, for me, I had a very strong kind of reaction to this because I'm like, are you kidding me? They're not hiring you to go and wait to audition. You are going and essentially like begging a TV show to make you a star.
Right.
Right? So if you're going to go and you are going to try to audition to have this opportunity and
It's
kind
voluntary.
yeah, it's voluntary. You're playing by the rules. And more importantly, you sign a contract. At every stage of these reality TV shows, which I've reviewed for clients, they make all kinds of concessions and covenants saying, you're going to be on TV. We're going to edit you however we want to edit you, even if we make you
own
look
the
silly.
footage. We don't have
We
to give
own
you
the
the footage.
We don't have to get your permission to use your name and likeness over and over in promo
And while you're
or
waiting
anything.
for the 15 hours to be on the show, that gives you plenty of time to really look over those contracts.
So in any case, these are really ironclad agreements having to do with use of your name and likeness and how they edit you. And of course, the fact that you aren't getting compensation, or if you are, limiting what that compensation is. Now, if I was representing the TV show, right, I'm going to go, well, if you have thousands and thousands and thousands of people in all cities auditioning, how can we possibly be able to, pay all this? And then, devil's advocate, well, of course you can, right? You should. People are wasting their time. Now I'm going to tell you a little side story because I have personal experience with this. Many, many yonders ago, I went on one of these reality TV shows with my family band, and I didn't want to do it. I think these TV voice shows are so fun to watch, and I love them, and it's amazing for a lot of people. For me, I think they're super cheesy, and I didn't want to do it. But I was talked into it, and so I went and did the thing. And it was a nightmare. You wait forever, and that was totally our experience. We were there, and I think we finally did our audition at like 10 o'clock at night. We're dehydrated. We've been sitting on the floor. Like, it's a miserable experience, but that's what it was. And we kind of already knew what it was because they're trying to get through so many people. Right. So again, I totally agree. I'm sitting there, I'm waiting, it's miserable. And so we went on to the next round and we did the big thing in front of all the judges and the big stage. And, it was cool. But again, I have a hard time with this, well, because we were made to wait because of the volume of what the producers are doing for this show and the opportunity that the show presents. I'm going on a little bit of rant, but I'm definitely one-sided.
No, I like it. Well, it's and then you have to be careful because this could set a precedent if she ends up winning this or whatever, if based on like I'm waiting around. Like, so does that mean that any movie or any TV show or commercial that casts somebody, if you're waiting in line, if you happen to get in line, I have to pay you because you're waiting in line to do something that you may or may not get the gig anyway? Like, I get it that but you're signing up for the gig. You know what the gig is. From what I remember from, I don't even know, probably like season 2 or season 3. Really, I don't watch these shows, but from what I know that they show you, I've seen, some of these other like America Got Talent stuff, and you're waiting. A lot of the shows, especially the auditions, they show you waiting. They're showing people waiting in line, and they go, "I've been here for 14, 15 hours. I've been here
Yep.
since 2." They wear it like a badge of honor. And so, I don't know. I think it's it's an interesting thing though. It's very interesting that a lot of people are jumping on. And then I saw something else that they're going through that I don't really know a whole lot about, but just some of their staff members are also trying to jump in on something too because they want money as well. They don't feel like they're being compensated. And I know California has some really interesting
And that's this
laws.
there's a couple things. Let's play devil's advocate, right? So let's say I have an 18-year-old daughter and she's going to go for this opportunity and she works, her job to support herself, and now she's going to take off a full week to go and audition for this show. She's not making money, she's paying to be in a hotel. I could definitely sympathize with that kind of situation, and just to be
No, but I
like,
love this. I love this road that you're going out. Yeah, no, finish this thought. I love this road because it's their own. Like, that's why you ever wonder who goes on these shows. Like when you watch, like if you ever watch like The Bachelor, or you watch these like reality shows where like they're in the house for like 6 months all living together. It's like you don't have a job. It's like you don't have like anything to do. Like, what do you think is gonna happen just because you're like, oh, I'm entitled to be a star, so I'm gonna I deserve to be compensated because of my talent. I don't know.
yeah,
It's
and I look forward to anyone who wants to challenge me on this, but that was just my initial gut reaction. Now let's look real quickly at the complaint. Again, let's be, as fair as we can about this. Let me make this bigger so you guys can hopefully see. All right, so if you look over here, this is all the actual claims. So it's number one, failure to pay overtime wages. Okay, so to say we're entitled to actually be paid, and that's probably in relation to the employees. Now, that's the other thing. I'm not even commenting about the employees. I don't know what their claims are, if they were overworked and underpaid and all the things. I'm talking specifically about those contestants who were auditioning. Okay. So, failure to pay minimum wages, probably the employees, liquidated damages for failure to pay minimum wage, failure to provide accurate and itemized wage statements, failure to provide uninterrupted meal periods, failure to provide uninterrupted rest periods, failure to pay wages promptly upon termination, unjust enrichment. So this one is probably closer for the contestants. Unjust enrichment basically is when there is not a contract, or it's in the alternative, right? So you say, if, for example, court finds that the contract that I signed for the show doesn't apply to my claim that I should have been paid wages, therefore there's no contract, so it's called unjust enrichment. You go, hey, other company, you did all these things and benefited from me, but I was not fairly compensated. Now, if I was representing American Idol, I come back and be like, I made you a star. Well, however you
right.
want to paint it, you are now a viral sensation, not only because you were an interesting character on the show, but because now of all of this, like for all these reasons, you are benefiting
Mm.
from the publicity, which has, a monetary value on it. Another claim, failure to reimburse business expenses, unfair business practices. It's not fair that you guys are, basically exploiting all these
Yes.
contestants and not paying us, daily wages. And then private attorneys general act. I'm not sure what that one is. So, in any case, this was a little bit more interesting to me because now this is a class action. Okay. And
The
if we're
only
talking about hundreds of people, now I'm not going to say there aren't hundreds of people kind of, complaining about the same thing or that they're not entitled to. I just
right.
know that for me, I would have a hard time wanting to sue a show that did what it promised to do, which was, you may feature me on the show in one way or another. They did do that with this particular contestant, But then, as far as how long it took, to say it took
Right.
too long, logistics. I don't think they were just having you wait because they're jerks.
Well, no, it's not even just that. I mean, at the end of the day, like a lot of the point of the show is you still have to sign a contract. It's your choice to either sign that contract or not sign that contract. I'm sure it's very clear in there that you are not getting compensated financially for this, and you still sign that contract. Now, you could choose not to go on the show. That's how they do it. Or maybe, some of these complaints when people go, I don't want to go do it. I think it'd be interesting maybe to do a show for some of the, or, where we're looking at some of these entry forms when you are submitting to some of these contests or some of these singing competitions and stuff, because I'm sure that they have on their websites when you're entering and sending in your video, they have some like rules and just different kind of legal stuff of what it means. Because I mean, if you get accepted, they use your audition clips, I'm sure, in some of the montage scenes or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and much love. It's funny because on cases like this, we see people go on reality TV shows and they do sign contracts saying producers can edit you however they want. And that's a risk you take when you voluntarily sign the contract and then go on the show, right? But nonetheless, some people will be incredibly upset because they were painted in a bad way. We have even covered a lawsuit recently having to do with what is it called? Finding Anna, discovering Anna, inventing Anna. So
Inventing it,
inventing
right?
Anna, and how one of the characters was portrayed in it, and she goes, I was portrayed as just this gold digging, ugly kind of person, and that's not me. So she sues. People really care about how they are portrayed, even after they sign contracts. So not having reviewed her exact contract, but knowing generally what these agreements do say, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. But here's the thing, it will be interesting to see, because if this class action suit is successful in any capacity for the contestants, this could be a game changer, because
And that's
American Idol will have to kind of change its policies.
every show will have to change its policies.
Yeah.
Every because if it's in California, every show out there will have to.